Hello and welcome back to NLC7. We're going to try and tackle the tunnels and get those gas pumps on and then get out of here without a closed cycle suit. I'm going to use my med kits to try and brute force it. So, here we go. Here goes nothing. So far, so good. I'd like to get a little greener than that, but what are you gonna do? Now, there's also I don't think I'm gonna make it. Maybe, oh, that seems to be working. Damn it. Alright, I think I need to use my scientifics.
Твоя цель здесь. Иди ко мне.
Let's go. Ooh, that was stupid. I'm not gonna make it. Slamming that button. Oh wow. That was as close as it could get. Scientifics are good, but they don't last long. Shit. It's a dead end everywhere here. Maybe all for nothing. Maybe try through the flooded tunnel that Ivar mentioned something about. Yes, that's right. Just to get out of here. Let's get out of here. Oh, Jesus. Let me through. There we go. On to the next. Looks like we've arrived in Foggy Thicket. And there's our buddy. My inventory is bugged out. It was happening to me before. And I troubleshooted it, and it's okay when we get to army warehouses, so. For now, we'll just read the dialogue. Glad to see you. Doctor, how come I'm here? Why? I found you near the dead monolith. Dead? That's what S.T.A.L.K.E.R called it back then. That glowing stone not far from here where he conducted his experiment. Ah, an offshoot of it, or whatever they say. How come? It turns out it transported me. I don't understand. How did you end up there? You were supposed to head north. Yes, I was. You were at the monolith? Was, or it seems I was. But I've understood everything. Truth, it no longer matters. Are you still mad at me? Don't want to talk? No, not anymore. What's the use of being mad? You did the right thing. If you had told me everything at once, I wouldn't describe how to get out there quickly and unnoticed. And I really did need to meet with Ghost and then urgently disappear for a while. Did you meet S.T.A.L.K.E.R? No, I found his final notes and gained understanding. You can't change the past no matter how hard you try, no matter what technology you have. You can't change cause and effect. All his attempts were useless. And now we all have to live with this zone and with this monolith, one way or another. As for me, what do I care about any of this anymore? So where did S.T.A.L.K.E.R go? Does it even matter? He's gone and won't be coming back. Maybe he went to the monolith and it flung him even further into the past or future. Maybe he went off to study the black mark, hoping to change something else. Maybe he shot himself out of despair. And maybe there will be more like him, more S.T.A.L.K.E.Rs trying to change things. But that's not what matters to me. What matters is what I understood. I am definitely not him, and I never was. I am not S.T.A.L.K.E.R, and I don't have a single one of his memories, no matter what Ghost wanted. Have you come to understand yourself? I have. I am who I am, whatever that means. I remembered some things about myself and some things I didn't, but that's not the point. The point is that what I remembered is mine and no one else's. All the mistakes are mine, all the failures are mine, and all the reasons for what I did are mine. That's the plain truth, the one Ivar talked about. Truth is what's true for you yourself. Tell me. Get it off your chest. Yeah, just give me a moment. So now we need to read our final memory before we talk to Doc. Surely many come to the zone voluntarily. They choose this themselves. No one forces them. But is there anyone who doesn't regret it later? And did I make the right choice coming here? Even if you're some kind of hotshot specialist, sooner or later you become spent material. That's what happened to me. I never killed just for money. It was always either combat, some operation to eliminate, or self-defense. I don't even know why I agreed. Greedy for a big score, or maybe wanted something spicy to play cat and mouse. Or finally use all my unused knowledge, skills. Don't know. The job wasn't easy. The target too noticeable figure, always under guard, not easy to approach. But I managed. I felt no pangs of conscience, nothing personal, it's work. Every person has a price, and he was worth a lot. And at some point, I suddenly realized that I also cost something. Felt it in my gut, sixth sense, by the way the boss talked to me, by the way I was led, by the car park nearby, by the slightly ajar front door to the apartment. I didn't enter. Everything was clear. I'm spent. Need to leave. Before leaving, Hawk gave instructions, talked about local customs, rules, factions, told me where to fit in right away, how to behave, what gear to take, how to survive. I wasn't interested in that. I could teach anyone survival. I was more concerned about Hawk himself. Only he knew about my departure. I thought I could trust him, but was it so? Could I trust anyone after everything? In any case, I had no choice. Someone had to guide me, and here I am in the zone. Was it the right choice? Most likely. Who needs me there, beyond the perimeter? There, everything's clear. If not me, then me, and sooner or later it will happen. But here I'm like a fish in water. And it looks like we have finally discovered that we are a mercenary, and we are not meshed with S.T.A.L.K.E.R. So what do you want to know, Doctor? So what have you understood about yourself? Have you remembered everything? Is it possible to remember everything? No one can recall every moment of their life. Yes, I remembered some things, but the main point is not in that. The main thing is that I understood who I am. Tell me, why do you need this? It's my life. I needed to understand, not you. You wanted me to understand myself, and I did. Anyway, if you want to know, I'll tell you. We lived with my parents on the outskirts of the city, in a private sector. My father was practically a teetotaler, originally from somewhere in the Baltics. My mother is from Siberia. They both worked at some company. My parents spoiled me too much, all because they rarely saw me. They had joint business trips, joint tourist trips, something else joint, and I was left in the care of grandparents. And from their side, there was complete lack of control. Do whatever you want. So I was an independent boy. I loved going to the shooting range in my childhood. My father often took me there when he was home. I also loved school trips. Our town was small, a half-hour walk, and you're already in the forest outside the city. And then, throughout life, I walked a lot on foot. So, from childhood, I got used to long marches, to Spartan hiking conditions, to independence, and I loved weapons. In childhood, I needed nothing, neither cars nor toys, only a new pistol. Collected various postcards, stamps with weapons, carved very similar copies from wood according to the pictures. I liked holding weapons in my hands, even if they were toy ones. In short, what's there to tell? Continue. I'm interested. Then I remember applying to the Maritime Academy. I wanted to sail, but my independence didn't allow me then to put up with barracks life, and I quickly quit. Funny, because later in life I actually chose the barracks. In the Army, I ended up in the Special Forces. To say that we were pushed to the limit is an understatement. We were simply kept in harsh conditions. But I liked it. Liked the uniform. Liked the weary tiredness at the end of the day, when you fall asleep exhausted. Liked showing off in front of others. And I liked the power. I liked to flex my muscles and show what I'm made of. After the Army, of course, I signed up for a contract. It's not surprising. I learned a lot in the Army. I could do a lot, and knew a lot. But all these skills were not for a peaceful, measured life. Then came training in camps. That's what we called them. Asserted ourselves there in our own way, sometimes with a fight. It was inevitable. I already understood perfectly that power decides everything, and then service. I was in hot spots, peacefully dispersed protesters, and freed hostages, all sorts. Things didn't work out with the family. All women are fools, at least those that crossed my path. Of course, married one, but then we split up. She also turned out to be a brainless chicken. What next? Well, what next? Service, missions. Am I going to tell you all the cases or what? And then I left. There was a mass reduction of units, and I was reduced too. I wanted it myself. I got tired of everything. I actually preferred the independent life of a loner. Got a job at a private security company, and then someone dug up my files, delved into the past, and realized that I could be useful. They met with me and offered to engage in one not very legal matter. The first couple of clients were handled cleanly. No noise, no dust. I knew my business. Moral principles hardly bothered me. Work is work. Everything in this world costs something, and everyone is worth something. And then the last order. I don't even know why I agreed. Greedy for a big score, or maybe wanted something spicy to play a game of cat and mouse. Or finally, use to the fullest everything I'm capable of. The task was not simple. The target was too noticeable a figure, always under guard, hard to approach. But I managed, and at some moment I suddenly realized that I also cost something. Felt it in my gut, sixth sense, and I had to disappear somewhere. Dissolve into somewhere, and I chose the zone. Now I think it wasn't the best choice. You think what I just told you is the main thing? Now, don't be hard on yourself. The main thing is you finally remembered who you are. You think what I told you is the main thing? You think it now has some significance for me? It's not the main point. I don't understand. You were striving for this. You wouldn't understand. I didn't strive to remember. I strived to understand myself. Now I clearly understand that. All these questionnaire data, where I was born, where I studied, where I got married, they're unimportant. What's important is that I finally realized who I really am and what I am. The conclusion is not joyful. All my life, I was driven by cruelty, which eventually turned into uncontrollable anger. I always believed that power decides everything. But now, to have power and not use it? Of course I used it. I demonstrated power. I showed myself as much as I could. Now I see it was stupid, foolish violence, unjustified cruelty and hatred. I wasn't just doing my job. I hated those who were against me, who disagreed with me, who stood in my way. But it was a stupid, unjustified hatred, unjustified cruelty. My whole life was controlled by some stupid, meaningless anger, and nothing more. You're exaggerating too much because you're too demanding of yourself. From your story, I see that you were always independent. You strove to achieve results at any cost, and you never gave up. What's wrong with that? You had positive qualities, determination, the desire to win no matter what, but you somehow made such a strange conclusion. What difference does it make why this conclusion? Maybe I'm too self-critical. Maybe I'm too suspicious and made it up myself. And maybe the monolith suggested it to me, and maybe I dreamed it. You didn't understand anything. I could have pretended, deceived myself, Told myself it's not me, that I'm not like that, it's not mine. But why? For me, confidence in myself is important. Before, I was constantly unsure. Didn't understand what from memories was mine and what wasn't. Wasn't sure who I am, what drives me. Now I know. And it doesn't matter why this feeling appeared and whether it matches what you see in me. The main thing, I am now confident in who I am and how I am. Finally understood myself. Well, let it be, if such understanding is important to you. And what now? Where are you off to? Rest here, you're all worn out. I don't know where to now. I no longer want to return to the past, and there's nowhere for me to go now. My place is here. I'll rest here for a bit, and then head to the bar. Need to figure something out. Okay. Wait, you still haven't said your real name. How should we call you now? Call me Marked One. It's so good. Alright, Marked One. And what's the business in the bar? There's something else. Man. Call me Marked One. It's time to sleep. Yeah, I can't do anything until I get out of here. Considering the fact that my stamina's not going up, I guess that was so stupid. Whatever. Is time moving normally here? No, it's still going fast. Probably gonna die from this. I feel like my battery's still on and that's why I'm able to sprint. But if I can make it out, then we're all good. Oh, I can't use my first aid though. Sucks, I'm not gonna make it. Try and zoom to the end, but whatever, we'll just reload this and skip through the dialogue. I wonder what's gonna end up with Fang. Poor guy. I don't know if there's a conclusion there. You can either sell him out to Sakharov and he'll die on the operating table, or live out his life in a hole in the foggy thicket. That's bleak. halfway there. Right. Inventory is back. Apparently with our belt bugs, we didn't lose anything there. You love to see it. Anyway, so that was the first ending. Now we have another ending that we can pursue. I don't know which is the original. I think that... Actually, I'm wrong. I believe that the last version that the original developers worked on never was really finished completely. And then it took a fork to kind of fill in the blanks. So maybe that ending that we just read is one of the first... is the first ending, and then this is an extended one from all the subsequent devs and forks. But that's just speculation on my part. I'm not going to take this episode too far, but I want to get to the bar at least and see what's going on with everything. Is that all the ammo? Oh no, I still have a lot. To go pick up my whatchamacallit. Absolute. Got 3 capsules. That's pretty cool. Feel like I'm gonna need a dummy for something. That always comes in handy for teleporting. People really love that artifact, but it's technically a modificate. I think it's okay. I mean, I never used it. Sell the ruby spring. I'm gonna get the big fucking pistol. That's what I want. Okay. Let's go.
Щось не подобається мені тут. Не те, щоб не пря, зовсім навіть навпаки. Воно швидше б назад.
Hopper. Who's got the hopper?
И кто же так нам колеса катит?
I still have the crack even though I repaired. I guess it didn't repair to 100, so it was a little window of shit. I could get stuck. There's our absolute. Beautiful. What's up, buddy? Oh, there's the 7.6251 gun. Oh no. I thought I could get a, Is it Sidorovich? Son of a bitch. Okay. We'll take it down to him. I can't get the ammo. I'm pretty kitted right now. No, just drop by, buddy. Well, I wanted to go down there anyways. I don't know. Hopefully I can use my teleporter. Where did Ivar go? What am I, Ivar's keeper? Well, you never know. Didn't he stop by here? Stopped by, picked up a few things and left. I didn't pry into his plans. Everyone's heading north these days, and he probably did the same. Got it.
Здорово, меченый. Как делишки?
Has Ivar stopped by? He came by before leaving and asked for a working PDA. And where did he go? Who knows? Said something about looking for the remains of his group. They searched and searched, found nothing, only got themselves lost. But he's back to normal now and can take care of himself. Though if he really wants to find the black mark, it's doubtful. The mark? Why does he need it? What do I know? Maybe he's not looking for it. He mentioned something about it when leaving, but I didn't catch the meaning. Weird. He said S.T.A.L.K.E.R was always asking about the black mark. What did Ivar say? Nothing much, just said goodbye. Mentioned something about someone possibly being right. Maybe your S.T.A.L.K.E.R was. I was busy, didn't listen or remember, and didn't need to. Why do you care about Ivar? He mentioned something that wasn't important to me then, but I'm interested now. Remember I brought you papers from a radar lab? You brought so many I could start a library. Think I remember everything? Do I need to? I can remind you. There was something about flooded tunnels, and you read something about pumps there. Well, try to remember, it's important now. Listen, marked one, I remember only one thing now. That I've done a lot for you for free, and you've only been feeding me promises. Until I see a couple of third level artifacts, I won't even bother to try remembering anything. You always do this. Promise for one thing, promise for another, calculate the PDA for free, this and that, and a dozen other things. Oh, come off of it. Don't exaggerate. It was just looking through a few papers. I'll give you a second level artifact, fair enough. I've said it before. 2 arts, third level, period. Principled, huh? You'll get your arts. Wouldn't you know it? Hey, docent. Remember anything about the tunnels? Something's up with my memory. I can't recall without artifacts. Here are 2 third level artifacts. Now, let's check those papers together. Understand, marked one. Life's hard, especially now. People have scattered. Nobody brings anything worthwhile. Though it's time for them to return from the north with their bags, but no one's to be seen yet. Yeah, get to the point. Where are those papers? About the flooded tunnels? About the pumps? Tunnels, pumps. Yes, I remember something. Remember that it's activated somewhere in one place, and the pumps are completely elsewhere. Something like that, but I didn't really delve into it. Anyway, those papers are gone. This isn't a paper warehouse here. Tooth dropped by recently out of old memory. Took everything in a stack. What? I gave you 2 valuable artifacts, and you give me this crap in return? Firstly, you gave me those artifacts not for this data, but as payment for past promises. And secondly, this isn't crap. It's some information that the power is turned on in one place, and the pumps are in another. And also that everything was given to Tooth. And Tooth is supposedly somewhere in Lemansk now, so it's all fair. And don't look at me like that. Don't clench your fists. You know well I might still be useful to you, and that everything in this world has its price. Cool your jets. Fine. I'll be back. Where would you go? By the way, here's a bit more free information for you to ponder. Recently, a guy, seemingly a mercenary, also asked about underground areas. I'm not sure if the same ones, but any that could lead north. A mercenary here? Why would that be? What's so strange about it? Paths are open everywhere now. Territorial borders are blurred. And since duty weakened their positions, even the freedom guys make their way to the bar. Though for now, not brazenly or officially. That guy chatted with Barkeep about something and left. I got it. Take care. I thought Tooth was gone. Hello, Tooth. Got a job. Decided to buy a recipe? No. Dosen said you took some papers from him, and I need to review them closely. Can we make a deal? Do you see any stacks of papers here? All those papers have long since burned. You burned them? Why take them then? Markman, you seem smart enough, but you ask stupid questions. Information is a commodity, and when a commodity is in one's hands, the seller sets the price. Get it? Everything interesting in those papers was copied and transcribed onto other media. The papers into the fire. Nobody will read them now. But you read them. Didn't find anything about flooded tunnels, pumps, something. Well, so what's the price, seller? Depends on what you need. Information comes in all sorts. Important, very important, vitally necessary. So the price varies. Specify and I'll see if I have what you need and gauge how important it is to you. Or do you think I have a calculator for a brain? Press a button and get an immediate answer. Here's the thing. There's a flooded tunnel and there are pumps that can drain it. I need to find out where those pumps are activated and how to power them. So. And where does that tunnel lead? That's what I want to find out. Aha, you're saying you came here, ready to pay a good sum, out of mere curiosity? Or are you hinting Tooth has gone a bit soft in the head? I'm saying there's a commodity, there's a seller, there's a buyer. Everything else is irrelevant. Quick thinker. Well, we add on. Add on what? The price. Overall, come back in about 15 minutes. I need to rummage around, find what's needed. You're being vague. And give me a ballpark figure so I can prepare too. What do you need? First level artifacts? Where's the laugh track? Go collect cans, funny guy. Prepare dummies and capsules, and not just one. That's just for starters. The main thing isn't in them, but in what you can do for me, and that's why I need to have a chat with someone. I feel we'll make a deal. 15 minutes it is then.
Подходи, сталкер. Для таких, как ты, у меня всегда есть кое-что.
So how's my capsule? Cool. What's new around here? What's new? The crowd's thinning, haven't you noticed? Less and less people. Everyone's heading north, and few return. Where do they all disappear to? Into what black hole? Have you been there yourself, or are you still planning to? It's hard to say. I've kind of been there, kind of haven't. Ah, right. You're that head case. Remember some things and forget others. Me being a fool. Almost forgot. A guy came by, asking about someone with an interesting tattoo. You've got one right there. A mark on your hand. So what? That's all. Acting all important, bossy. Whatever you ask him, it's none of your business, and he just keeps asking questions. And what's it to me? Why does he need me? Why you specifically? He didn't mention names, and you yourself don't remember what you're called. I remember perfectly now, and I'm not sick. They call me Marked One. I am the Marked One. Clear? Marked One it is then. Marked by the sign. So, he needed someone marked by the sign. Can't remember a second like that. Turns out he was looking for you, no matter how you spin it. And what does he want? You'll have to ask him. He didn't know who he was looking for himself. I told him if he doesn't know the name, how would I know who he needs? Then he mentioned the tattoo, and said if such a person shows up, they'll be waiting for him at the warehouses. Also mentioned some werewolf. Said it might be of interest. Sound familiar? Maybe wolfhound? Could be. Go check it out and find out if they're looking for you. Alright, we'll see how it goes. So ready? So what's the update on our pump situation? You've come too early. I'm waiting on a message. Once I get it, we'll talk. Alright, well, we're waiting for him. Let's see what's going on in here. Done with notes. Done with memories. Oh, I guess I never did that. My part's gone. That's okay. 1351. Probably good now.
Не тормози, мужик. Моя информация
You're
может
just
тебе
in time.
пригодиться.
Now let's get straight to the point. Getting down to business. Fine. Roughly speaking, I have an idea where you might find the code to the door of the flooded tunnel. It seems like that door is coded. That's 1. There's rough information on where to turn the pumps. That's 2. And approximately where to power them. Where shall we start? The price. Is it also rough or precise? For a hint on where you might find the door code, a dummy. For the rough location of the pump connections, capsules, or we can negotiate. And the pumps themselves? That's a separate conversation. Artifacts won't cover it, but we'll get to it. Only if we solve the first 2. Let's solve them. I just need to check my stash to know what I have to trade. You mentioned the capsule. I'm here about the payment. What's the payment again? Remind me. For a hint on where you might find the door code, a dummy. For the rough location, capsules. I'm not too interested in the code. I have a device. Up to you. Your device might jam? Decide now. But master is master. Or maybe you're right. I do have a dummy. Good decision. Generally, there should be a working computer somewhere in a laboratory at the radar. Near a guard post or something. That's where you can dig up the code. The tricky part is finding out exactly where it is. The computer in the lab at the radar. I can roughly imagine where that might be. But you asked a lot for a dummy. You could have just told me the code. Inflation marked 1. Plus, had you known, well, you're aware. Tell me where this computer is and what else is interesting in it. We'll negotiate. Have you seen it? Just thinking. I'm not sure. Alright, I've given the dummy. What now? For the rough location of the pump switches, 3 capsules. 3? Why so expensive? I recall you initially asked for 1. Inflation marked 1. Can't keep up with it. And I didn't say 1, I said capsules. But there are other options. 3 artifacts at the 3rd level, 2 dummies, or perhaps an absolute. Great. Time waits for no one. I just need to fetch them. I'll part with an absolute. Take a couple of dummies. Whatever. Excellent. I knew you'd handle it. Knew he. Let's talk about the pump connections. What's up with that? I understand that power for the pumps can be supplied from 2 locations. One is unclear, just that it's some kind of underground. The other is also in an underground facility, but at least it's mentioned that in the same underground area, a level up, there live some nerds. Does that tell you anything? Whether it tells me anything or not, are you trying to extract information from me for your own payment? What's next? That's all, but I see. You get the gist. And you ask for artifacts for that's all? Isn't it a bit too expensive? Inflation, I told you. It dictates the price, and so does the monopoly on information. Alright, but where are the pumps themselves? There as well? Pumps are in a completely different place, and here we come to the main part. I've been whispered that you met with monoliths at the radar. You know, those with mush for brains. What do those frostbitten have to do with the pumps? Nothing. Or maybe they do. Someone flooded the tunnel you want to enter after all. It's not about them. Have you heard anything about their weapon? They say it disintegrates into dust the moment someone touches it. And there's talk someone wants to find a way to prevent it from disintegrating. What are you thinking about? I'm just turning thoughts in my head, roughly figuring out where you're going with this. Should I keep listening or just decline right now? Listen to the end, it gets more interesting. And there's also talk of a group of people almost finding a way. They've got equipment that can halt the disintegration process, or even freeze it completely. Now they just need the actual weapon. Well, let them go to those monolith guys and take it. What's that got to do with me? The trick is, the tool exists, and the weapon can be found, but it can't be taken, even with the tool. It disintegrates immediately in human presence. They need someone whose hands won't cause it to disintegrate. And that's where you come in. You're implying I'm not human. Interesting. I didn't say that, but I know they were looking for someone with a tattoo like yours. Supposedly such people have a chance to take the weapon and it won't vanish. I don't know if it's true, and they don't know. But you could play on this and at the same time check. Is it really so? Aren't you curious to find out if you're human? And who am I in your opinion? 2 arms, 2 legs, liver, spleen, all is with everyone else. What's it to you? Just curious. I learned some of it from Ghost. And he also told me, for a decent price of course, that he met you and has some doubts about you. And I understand that you have no fewer doubts on this account. And what's in it for you? I know you wouldn't lift a finger if there's no profit in it for you. To put it shortly, there are interested parties. Let's say, competitors of those guys looking for the weapon. If they don't have the tool and think all this misinformation aimed at them, so I need to know for sure. Is this misinformation or valuable information? I need real proof that such equipment, or whatever, the tool, actually exists, or doesn't. And that the group actually possesses it, or doesn't. And also truly plans to extract such weapons from the zone. It seems to me Ghost is related to those competitors. Hence, his interest in me. And you say you're interesting to him because... for my extraordinary intellect. So you're suggesting I go to them and directly ask about their secret plans? They'll just tell me everything and I'll tell you, right? Don't be dense, Marked One. Put all the facts together. Figure out why they might be looking for you. Surely they'll want to use you somehow. I told you. He who holds everything dictates the price. Well, use that extraordinary brain of yours. You're the only one with that mark for now. Or maybe the only one left. And here you're entitled to negotiate and demand some data. And play it by ear from there. But most importantly, you'll have a chance to find out something about yourself that's bothering you. And then you could venture where no one else has. And maybe, just maybe, understand everything at last. And maybe even come back and tell the tale. You're playing with words, Tooth. Thinking poor Marked One will get sentimental and spill everything to Tooth for free. About his plans, doubts, where he's heading, about Ghost, and everything else Tooth doesn't know yet, but wants to. Planning a big score. For now, I'm only interested in what I've told you. If you decide, head to the warehouses, to the mercenaries camp. Truth be told, that ticket is one way, but you'll manage. Someone you're interested in visits there from time to time. Perhaps you already know this, and I'll be waiting for the outcome. Why didn't you say this from the start? Dragging it out, waiting for the capsule. If I told you right away, you might have refused right away. I needed to see how eager you were to drain that tunnel. Now, you've already invested in this. You got half of it. It'd be foolish to turn back now. You're a psychologist, but I'll still think about it. It's not wise to rush into dealings with those guys. Alright. That's quite the tale. I decided that I need to redo this, and instead of giving that capsule to Barkeep, I can just use the 3 capsules and save my hopper. Since I already have the bead. So I'll have to start over from here, but I don't need to do that on video. I can just catch up, save y'all the trouble. I also realized that I think I've done a bunch of stuff that he was talking about as well. On the notes, like the power, I think, is the Dark Valley lab. That's the geothermal thing that we did. And we already have I have my screenshots from the computer in the lab, so I don't even know if I need to go back to them or if we can go straight to the thing. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.